Hi, so today I will tell you about the XPath in Selenium. See, this is the method which I have earlier described about, and you can find the link of this tutorial in the description. Here I provide the URL for YouTube, where in the YouTube page I am going to search element by name. But generally the things don't happen, that is only by name doesn't work out in the real world. So most of the coding languages use XPath. So we can do this by writing find by XPath, not by name. See, this is find by XPath function. So to know what is XPath, it is better to go for some browser and do some operations there only. So what we will do here is to learn how to find XPath in this tutorial for elements. And basic thing is that there are two types of XPath. One is relative XPath and second one is absolute. These are further fabricated, or you can say these are further divided into subparts. So as you can see, this is Chrome, and let me tell you first how to go for finding XPath. In this Chrome, just write down Chrome XPath extension and go with ChroPath. This is the extension which I use generally. So add this extension to the Chrome browser, add extensions, and after adding you will see the browser like, let me close this. So whenever else, suppose this is the page I will write a test data, and right click on it and go for this thing will come out, and just expand this part. After clicking on inspect, you can see that Chrome path tab is there. So here we can find all the things related to XPath. Whatever we will write, it will search the elements inside this. So relative and absolute are further divided, and what you will see is the division is, see the divisions are, let me first give it the numbering. First is the relative and second one is the absolute. So let's go further. So they are further divided into without function and with functions. Second is with function. And if you talk about the function, there are three types of function. The first one is contains, and second one is starts with, and third one is text. I will tell you everything one by one. So these things we are going to study today, and this will cover the XPath of element which we use in Selenium. So first we will go with relative XPath. So if I talk about the relative XPath, if I am searching this element input, then I'll do forward slash 2 times means this is a relative path. Just with 2 slash it will check that it's a relative path. If it is 1 forward slash, then it won't check. So I'm searching input field with square bracket open, and I'll write @. So this is the input field. Inside the square brackets, if I'm searching with class as this one, I'll provide @class equals with single inverted comma. I'll provide this name and close the bracket. And when I'll hit enter, see, I found this element here. So this is the XPath, relative XPath of the element. Suppose if I'm searching this one, give you some more examples. If I'm searching this one, I'll just copy this and go for relative XPath. I'll provide the double forward slash for relative path. Since this is a type of div, inside this div, if I'm searching with @class with single inverted comma, I'll provide logo, and when I'll hit enter, see, this is game. This is the thing which is coming right now. If I'm searching some star, then it will search everything inside all the HTML DOM. and only one field is there, so it is showing one field. Suppose I am going to search ahref with title as go to Google Loom. So I'll provide star for everything and title go for Google Home. Only one element is here. Instead I have provided star, but since only one element is here, so it is coming 1. So let me go for some more elements, and suppose if I will go and check for this one with let me go for this one. This is good. With id equals this one, I will just provide id equals and I'll put it here. See, it won't find anything if I'll go to change it div. So let me first check with a, it won't find anything. Now provide it here as div. So it has found this element. So we got to know that whatever the element be, provide in the start, and then the square bracket provide the element with property. So this is done, and the example I can provide it here as basic syntax. It will be, suppose if I am searching an element with, let me provide this as an example and provide / 2 times, and if I am searching an element div and div with the property of id and let it be xyz, I'll provide this syntax div with id as xyz. And now let's go with functions. First let's go with contains. If I'll go with contains and let me provide here as star and let me provide here as contains, and I'll open the bracket and remove everything from here and provide inside the contains function, and instead of equals I am providing 2 parameters with comma separated, and when I will hit enter, it found all the elements with id which contains sgtq. As you can see, all the elements are here with id as sgtq, and if I will put it star here instead of div, see, it found all the elements and one more came, that is with a. If I will provide here as a only, see, one element is here, so it found a. And if I will provide div, not div but star, all the elements came with a also and div also. So in this way we can go for with contains. So contains is also done. Now let's go with starts with. If I'll go with starts with, in place of contains I'll just write starts and with, and when I'll hit enter, it found the same element. But let me show you what is the difference. If I'm typing MSP, if it is starting with MSP, then only it will come. In place of contains, MSB will come because MSB is contained. If I'll type MSP here, see, as such, it contains this text HTT MSP contains, so the things are coming. But if I'll write in place of contains, if I'll write starts with, it won't show anything. If I hit enter, let me hit enter, see, there no data came because they are not starting with MSP, but HTT is the text with which it is starting. If I'll type b hyphen also, these things are starting with id name, so they are coming. So starts with is used for whatever the text is for id, class or any other parameter. If it is starting with that text only, then only starts with is used, and contains is used for whatever the thing which we are providing in the contains is matching with the string of id or any other parameter, and if it is contained inside that, then the contains will work. So the simple syntax is div contains id xyz. If it is contained XYZ, and for starts with, if the string is starting with XYZ, we go with starts with. So this is for example ABC XYZ Z PQ. So this will work for this. And for starts with, it should start with XYZ to work, as it is starting with XYZ. So this was about starts with and contains. Now let's go to text part. For this, they are for text field only. So if I'll go to the browser, let me go to the browser now, and let me provide here as text, and text is a function, so start and close equals, and now I'll search for any text field. See, this is search mode is a text field, so I'll just copy this and provide in the quotes, and I'll hit enter. See, this is coming. This is the same which is coming here, search modes. So text is field is used for text part. So this is also done, and when I'll give you the example of text field, so the basic syntax is used is div for div part, and it will be for text function, and here comma will not be used, equals will be used, and XYZ, and this is for XYZ, and here XYZ is text, it is text. And now we are done with normal functions, that is contains, starts with, and text. These are the three functions which are used, but we can also go for nested functions also, and I'll give you the example how the nested functions work. So let's go to the console, and here suppose I'll remove this part, and we can use one function inside the other to make it nested. So I'll write contains, and inside contains, if I'll use text function and separated by comma, and I'll provide the same text, search mode. So see, it is containing text with search mode. So the nested part is also done, and the example can be said as / and contains functions open, function is open, and inside one more function, that is text, with text as, suppose XYZ is the text there, so I'm writing XYZ and close the function and close the square bracket. So it contains function inside a function, so this can be considered as nested. So we are done with, it will not be a relative, but it will be absolute path, because we are going with absolute, and this one will be the relative. So till now we have seen the relative path with / and now we will talk about the absolute. So change this path to absolute X path, and now if you select any element, it will give the absolute X path. Suppose I am selecting this div, as you can see HTML1 body 1 and div 3, and div 1 is coming, and if I select this div, see HTML1 body 1 div 2, this is HTML1 first body, and this first and second div. So again HTML1 body 1 first and second div. So if you select this div, first HTML, this is the first HTML, then first body, div third, after first body, first, second, and third div, which is coming exactly the first div and again the first div. So after this first div and again the first div. So in this way we can find the absolute path. Absolute path is just basic one. It just the thing is that it requires lots of typing. So like if I'm searching HTML as the first element and body, and then again I'm searching the div, that is the, suppose I'm searching third div, so we will have to type from the starting of the, like from HTML. So in this way you can write the absolute path also. So we have done with the absolute path. So we have seen how to find the XPath of element. So basic, the two types are there. The two types are absolute and second one is relative. So absolute is written like this, and in relative there are two types, with function and without function. So without function is can be written with id at the rate name at the rate some class, and with functions can be written with contains, starts with and text. You can also go for nested functions like contains having text. So these were all about finding XPath. Suppose I am copying this XPath, I can go in the Selenium and find element by XPath. Instead of some perimeter, you can directly write the XPath of that function or that element. So we can just provide the double quotes, and inside this we can paste that XPath, and it will automatically search that web element in our Selenium. So in this way we can use element by XPath. So we are done with this. So we have done with the finding XPath. So thank you for watching our video.